All right, here go the drapes.
What is they gonna swing next?
Finish. There we go. This has a balance. Okay, the bottom of the drapes. I also wanted you all to know you can just sew this on the machine. You don't have to finish this by hand. Make sure you use a thread that match, of course, and these are already finished on the bottoms of the drapes. And also on the top, you want to do exactly the same thing. You can see on the top of the drape where I stitched along the side on the machine, because nobody's never going to see that it's at the top. So I already started my pleats, and here I want to show you how to make the pleats. So a good idea I have is I use low-tack tape. So this is 2.5 inches wide, and if I couldn't sew a straight line without a guide, then I would set me up a piece of tape and have it as a guide. I measure from my needle with my ruler 2.5 inches, set up my guide so I can sew it perfectly straight. So I'm gonna pull this pin out, and then I'm gonna sew. This is my header to create my pleat, all the way down right to the bottom of my tape. And then I'm going to leave the needle down and take it and turn it. Now you can have, it's different pleats. It could be 3 pleats. It's all kind of pleat style. You need to look and determine what kind of pleat style you want. But I just want 2 folds. So I'm going to take this center and fold it all the way back. Push it all the way back. And then I'm going to stitch straight across the bottom. And make sure you keep them lined up even at the top so they don't come out uneven. And then back stitch, and there's my pleat. Make sure to trim all your threads as you go along. And then there's my pleat. So you could do 3 prongs. So if I took this and I pushed it out, then I would push this back, and I would have 3 pleats in my pleat, and then I would tack across the bottom. So it depends on which kind of pleat you want. This fabric is kind of heavy, so I decided I only wanted 2 folds in my pleats. And there are your pleated drapes. Okay, I have my drapery finished. I've got my pleater tape on here, and it's pinned in place. I do not have to hem this because we're going to sew it and create the pleats, and that'll hold that in place. And we don't want this hem to show on the top. So I have it folded in half, and I measured it, and it's 39 inches. So in order for me to figure out my pleats, I'm going to do 39 times 2, and it's 78 inches. Now I want 7 pleats, so my window is 40 inches, so I want 40 inches remaining, so I'm going to minus 40 inches, and that leaves me 38 inches. I'm going to take my 38 inches and divide it by 7. And I know how deep to make my pleats. So that's how we're going to figure out how deep to make my pleats. This is coming out to 5.4. So we can round that up to 5.5 inches. And we should end up with 40 inches. So I'm going to take this and start measuring the depths of my pleats. So it's folded in half. This is 1. And then I get 4 more on both sides. And I have 7 pleats. And of course you can figure it out with your space. How much space you want in between your pleats. So I'm going to take my ruler and measure out the depths of all of my pleats. I'm going to put a pin in place for the one side, and then I move over and pin the other side. And then I take the 2 of them and put them together and just put 1 pin through. And then I do that till I get all my pleats on both sides. It's just, to me, is the easy way to do it. And so by the time I do just half, I'll stretch it out and measure it, but don't pull it too tight because it's going to stay relaxed. And after I do that, I'll know if it's coming out to the right size that I want it. And if so, then I can do my other half, and then we can sew the pleats. So if I pin this together and half of my 40 inches, I should have 20, because remember my finished width of my window is 40 inches wide. So by the time I take this here and lay it out from my end to end, look, 20 1/4. So you know you got to calculate it out correctly. So if it come out more or less, then you can fudge with the pleats and give add or take away. So here go 3, and then 3 on the other side and 1 here, 7 pleats.